Okay, so yesterday, Boosie was involved in a serious car crash with reportedly multiple people injured. So people, of course, were like, yo, what's going on? Is Boosie okay? What's happening? So I reached out. I spoke to Boosie's publicist, and Boosie's publicist told me at the time that, because Boosie hadn't spoke out yet, that Boosie was okay. He wasn't hurt in the car.
Boosie Badazz, a name that's constantly buzzing in the headlines, found himself in yet another whirlwind of chaos recently. This time, a terrifying car crash in Georgia that has everyone talking. It was supposed to be just another day on the road, but the Baton Rouge rapper's life turned into a scene straight out of a disaster movie. The crash, which left multiple people injured and involved a pileup of vehicles, has sparked a frenzy of speculation, finger-pointing, and, of course, drama. Boosie, a magnet for controversy, is now at the center of a storm that seems to grow darker every time his name is mentioned.
And Boosie, from what I'm told, was the passenger in the car. They were riding in the car. Boosie was on his phone, and next thing he knew, the car was hit.
Right.
So
why would people lay down on the ground?
I mean,
it was a car accident.
It was a car accident.
All the airbags came out and everything.
Yeah. And
But laid out on the ground?
Yeah, there was a guy laid by the car. I don't know, maybe he got out the car and like he was in pain, so he laid down.
Let's rewind to the moment it all went down. It was April 7th, a seemingly ordinary afternoon, when Boosie's green and black BMW became the centerpiece of a multi-car collision on a busy Georgia highway. Witnesses described the scene as absolute chaos. Shattered glass, crumpled metal, and the sound of sirens piercing the air. The aftermath was captured in videos that quickly flooded social media, showing Boosie, shirtless and visibly shaken, standing near the wreckage. The front of his luxury car was mangled, airbags deployed, and debris was scattered across the intersection like confetti at a grim parade. Emergency responders worked frantically to assist other victims, some of whom were reportedly in severe pain. But here's where things get even murkier. Initial reports suggested that Boosie himself might have been behind the wheel, with whispers of him running a red light at high speed. The rumor mill churned at full capacity, with theories ranging from reckless driving to distraction. However, Boosie's team was quick to set the record straight, or at least their version of it. According to his publicist, Boosie wasn't driving. He was merely a passenger scrolling through his phone when the crash occurred. The true cause? A yet unnamed driver allegedly sped through a red light, triggering a chain reaction that ended in calamity. Boosie, ever the survivor, walked away from the incident with minor injuries, but the same couldn't be said for his driver, who reportedly required medical attention.
Boosie was not hurt. He did ended up posting and saying that he was a little bruised up, but he's good. And I asked, like, because he's touring right now. He's performing a lot right now. Was he going to, take some time off? And his publicist was like, no, Boosie gets to his money. So unless he's seriously hurt, he doesn't plan on stopping. But he did go to the hospital, and I'm told he only went to the hospital because the driver of the car was actually hurt, and he just wanted to make sure the driver was.
And as if the crash itself wasn't enough drama, the narrative took a sharp turn when Ye decided to insert himself into the chaos. Yes, you heard that right. Ye, the self-proclaimed genius and occasional provocateur, took to social media to deliver a cold, calculated jab at Boosie. In a now-deleted post, Ye suggested that the accident was some sort of divine punishment for Boosie's past criticisms of him. Man, can everyone let this be a lesson? Ye wrote, dripping with condescension. Don't have the handlers make you go against God's favorite. The implication was clear. Mess with Ye, and bad things will happen. It was a stunningly insensitive remark, even by West standards, and one that immediately reignited their long-standing feud.
Bro, and they talk, bro, like you got one of the biggest platforms, bro. You taking down people's legacies. Black Lives Matter, George Floyd. You deserve everything coming to you. You feel sorry for that. Apologize and say, it feel like it's on my, I've lost 2 million.
To understand just how low this feud has sunk, you have to go back to its origins. The bad blood between Boosie and Ye started in 2022, when Ye unveiled his infamous White Lives Matter shirt during a fashion show in Paris. The move, widely condemned as a slap in the face to the Black Lives Matter movement, drew outrage from across the globe, but few were as vocal or as scathing as Boosie. He took to social media to blast Ye, accusing him of disrespecting the struggles and sacrifices of Black people. After all we've been through as a race, you put this disrespectful message out, Boosie wrote, his words cutting like a knife. The feud only escalated from there, with Boosie calling Ye every name under the sun, and Ye responding with his trademark mix of arrogance and cryptic remarks.
And I feel it, and Kanye straight with me.
Right.
But he pissed me off this morning. You know what we done went through, bro. I don't want to get on here and, you know, but you know what we done went through and what we still going through to this day.
Fast forward to the present, and West's reaction to Boosie's crash feels like the latest chapter in a saga that refuses to end. But this time, West's words have sparked a backlash of their own. Social media erupted with criticism, as fans and critics alike slammed him for his lack of empathy. Ye using a car accident to gloat is a new low even for him, one user wrote. Others pointed out the irony of Ye, a man who's no stranger to controversy, acting as though he's some sort of moral authority. Still, there's no denying that his comments have added fuel to the fire, turning what could have been a moment of reflection into yet another public spectacle.
Kanye has made an interesting, return to his previous statements. He went on a Twitter rant. He said, all y'all N-words, slavery is a choice. I'm speaking my mind now. I ain't editing again, ever.
And then there's Boosie himself, who seems to be living a life that's equal parts action movie and soap opera. This isn't the first time he's found himself in the middle of a vehicular disaster. Just last year, he totaled his Cadillac Escalade after colliding with a deer. A bizarre incident that he later laughed off on social media, declaring, "F this truck," and that deer. But while that crash was played for laughs, this latest one is no joke. The injuries, the damaged cars, the lingering questions, it all paints a picture of a man who can't seem to escape the chaos that follows him everywhere he goes. And let's not forget the legal troubles that are constantly nipping at Boosie's heels. He's currently facing a federal gun case that could land him behind bars for a decade if convicted. The case, which stems from a 2023 arrest in San Diego, has been a thorn in his side for months. Boosie has been vocal about what he sees as the injustice of it all, even going so far as to plead with Donald Trump for a pardon. "Check my case out," he wrote on social media, claiming that he's being unfairly targeted. But while Boosie paints himself as a victim, his critics see a man who's no stranger to bending or outright breaking the rules.
Now listen, even though he's on probation, he's not in trouble for a car accident though, right? I thought it was just any police interaction, he has to report it to the PO. That don't mean he's in trouble.
And then there's the scholarship debacle, a controversy so convoluted it could make your head spin. After the tragic passing of Caleb Wilson, a Southern University student who lost his life in a fraternity hazing incident, Boosie announced plans to fund a scholarship in Wilson's name. On the surface, it seemed like a noble gesture. But things took a dark turn when Wilson's family accused Boosie of using their son's demise to promote his festival, Boosie Badazz. The Louisiana Attorney General even weighed in, threatening legal action and accusing Boosie of exploiting a tragedy for personal gain. Boosie, of course, denied the allegations, firing back on social media in a profanity-laden rant. But the damage was done, and the incident only added to his reputation as a man who thrives on controversy.
Wait, did he get arrested? Wait. You said he got arrested? Okay, hold up.
And yet, for all the chaos and criticism, Boosie remains an enigma. He's a man who can go from gifting his fiancée a brand new BMW at a baby shower to feuding with Ye on social media all in the span of a week. He's larger than life, a walking contradiction, a magnet for drama and disaster. And as the dust settles from his latest car crash, one can't help but wonder, what's next for Boosie Badazz? Whatever it is, one thing's for sure, the story is far from over. And as if the chaos surrounding Boosie Badazz wasn't already a full-blown spectacle, the cracks in his personal life, his fiery clashes with other celebrities, and his unapologetically brazen personality have only served to pour gasoline onto the already towering inferno of his public image. Boosie, after all, thrives on the kind of controversy that would send most people into hiding. But beneath the layers of bravado and designer clothes lies a man whose scandals don't just define him, they consume everything in their path.
Right? He said, "Don't speak on me, little Boosie. Speak to me. Yeah, little nerd-ass me. Come smack me or come shoot me. I'm the one that got bullied by the entire black celebrity community. Now I'm back to shoot the school up."
Let's take a step into Boosie's personal life, where his larger-than-life antics extend far beyond concert stages and social media rants. For starters, his relationship with Rajel. Nelson, his fiancée and the mother of his 9th child, has been nothing short of headline material. Picture this, a lavish baby shower for their unborn daughter, 7, dripping in gold and black decor, where Boosie stole the spotlight, not with tender words of love, but by casually gifting his fiancée a brand new BMW. It was a classic Boosie move, over the top, extravagant and designed to make waves. And let's not forget the cherry on top, a toy-sized luxury car for the baby to be, as if to declare that even his unborn child was destined for a life of opulence. But here's the thing about Boosie. His generosity often comes with strings attached. Case in point, his history of gifting and repossessing cars from his children. Yes, you heard that right. In a bizarre twist that could only happen in the Boosie universe, he once took back a Mercedes he had gifted to one of his daughters after feeling, in his words, unappreciated. The same car later made a cameo in one of his music videos, almost as if to rub salt in the wound. It's moments like these that paint a picture of a man who seems to wield his wealth and influence as both a carrot and a stick, leaving those closest to him walking a tightrope of gratitude and fear.
Hey, I say, what is he talking about? Didn't I call you, Vlad?
I think you did, yeah.
I say, man, you saw what Kanye just said about me? What is he talking about?
But this wasn't just a one-off stunt. Boosie's Take It Back policy has become something of a running joke among fans and critics alike. But for those on the receiving end, it's anything but funny. Another one of his daughters, Toriana Hatch, found herself in a similar situation when Boosie confiscated a car he had gifted her. Her crime? Allegedly using an unflattering word to describe him during a heated argument. Boosie didn't hesitate. He snatched the keys and made it clear that his gifts come with a silent, unspoken rule: loyalty above all else. The incident quickly became a viral talking point, with some applauding his no-nonsense parenting style and others accusing him of wielding his wealth as a weapon. And it's not just his kids who feel the weight of his unpredictable generosity. Boosie's friends and associates have also been on the receiving or losing end of his impulsive gift-giving. One former business partner claims that Boosie once gifted him a Rolex watch during a particularly lucrative collaboration, only to demand it back months later after a falling out. He made it seem like it was a token of appreciation, but the minute we had a disagreement, he wanted it back, the former associate alleged. Stories like these have painted a picture of a man whose version of generosity often feels transactional, leaving those around him constantly second-guessing their place in his inner circle. But perhaps the most telling example of Boosie's complicated relationship with wealth lies in his habit of flaunting it online, whether it's throwing wads of cash into the air during Instagram live sessions or showing off his sprawling estate. Boosie has built a brand around his larger-than-life persona. Yet, this constant display of excess has also made him a target. Critics argue that his need to show off stems from a deeper insecurity, a desire to prove to the world, and maybe to himself, that he's made it despite the odds. And while his fans eat it up, others can't help but wonder, is Boosie's generosity a genuine expression of love, or just another way to maintain control over those in his orbit? And speaking of tightropes, Boosie's relationships within the entertainment industry are just as precarious. His feud with Gabrielle Union, for example, is one for the books. It all started when the actress made a pointed comment implying that Boosie's outspoken views on certain social issues might be masking deeper insecurities. Boosie, never one to back down, fired back with a vengeance, launching a tirade that only added fuel to the fire. The feud quickly became a public spectacle, with fans and critics alike taking sides. But while Gabrielle's remarks may have been subtle, Boosie's response was anything but. It was raw, unfiltered, and dripping with the kind of drama that keeps tabloid columns in business.
Cool. That mean he ain't get hit by the right person.
Oh my
What?
God.
If I got hit by the right person, I'd be in the hospital right
What?
now.
Almost dead. Hello?
Now, why was Boosie's shirt off? Is Boosie's shirt always off when he drives?
He was in the passenger seat, but I don't know why
Why
Boosie's shirt
is that
was
a
off.
question?
I'm just kidding. He's running around with his shirt off.
His shirt was
I don't
off
know.
in the
Is
video.
Boosie's shirt always off when he
You know what?
drives?
Pause. You know what? Pause.
Of course, Boosie's penchant for conflict doesn't stop there. His controversial support for disgraced singer R. Kelly has been yet another lightning rod for criticism. When a leaked album from the embattled artist briefly surfaced online, Boosie wasted no time declaring Kelly the best to ever do it, sharing videos of himself grooving to the music as if oblivious to the firestorm of backlash it would ignite. The internet, predictably, exploded. Fans were divided, with some applauding his loyalty and others condemning his apparent disregard for the broader implications of his praise. But for Boosie, it was just another day in the life, a life where controversy isn't just an occupational hazard, it's the brand. And yet, for all his bravado, Boosie's public image has taken more than a few hits over the years. His past comments on social issues have drawn widespread condemnation, painting him as a figure who thrives on shock value at the expense of nuance and empathy. His social media presence, while undeniably entertaining, often feels like a ticking time bomb, with each post and live stream carrying the potential to spark yet another scandal. But here's the kicker. Boosie knows exactly what he's doing. He's a master of staying relevant in a world where attention is the most valuable currency, even if it means playing the villain. And then there's the music. For all the drama that surrounds him, Boosie remains one of the most influential figures in Southern hip-hop. His discography is a testament to his talent, with hits that have stood the test of time and collaborations with some of the biggest names in the industry. But even his music isn't immune to the shadow of his controversies. His recent projects have been overshadowed by his legal battles, his feuds, and his increasingly polarizing public persona. It begs the question, can Boosie ever separate his art from the chaos that seems to define his life? And let's not forget the broader implications of it all. Boosie's scandals have sparked countless debates about accountability, celebrity culture, and the role of public figures in shaping social discourse. His actions, whether intentional or not, have forced us to confront uncomfortable questions about the lines between art and morality, between personal freedom and public responsibility. But for Boosie, these debates are little more than background noise. He's too busy living his life at full throttle, consequences be damned. So where does this leave us? With a man who is as fascinating as he is infuriating, as talented as he is controversial, Boosie Badazz is a walking paradox. A man who seems to court disaster as if it's his birthright. And as the headlines continue to roll in, one thing is clear, the Boosie saga is far from over. But what do you think? Is Boosie a misunderstood genius, a master of controversy, or just a ticking time bomb waiting to go off? Let us know your thoughts down below, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.